Welcome back to the second episode of All Things Honor. I am your host. It's Kimmy Sokol. We're back. The second episode of Ring of Honor TV has commenced. It was great. And it seems as if we're on a quest to gold because every single segment that took place had something to do with either a championship match or somebody wanting a championship match. We are on the road to SuperCard of Honor. We are, I believe, 22 days out, 21 days when this gets posted, 22 days of me recording this. And yeah, let's get right into it. I'm slacking because I forgot my wrestling notebook in my dorm, so I have to read my typed review for this. So we start off with the Ring of Honor TV Championship, Samoa Joe versus Tony Deppen. Now, Tony Deppen is a former TV champion. He's also done a lot of work in GCW as well as Ring of Honor. This match was really good. I mean, this just proves over and over how much Joe really wants to give back to Ring of Honor. He says that in his promo after the match. Deppen had a really good showing, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's someone that's going to stick around. But I think the funniest part was that the entrance was so edited because when this was filmed, Joe was still TNT champion, but obviously he lost the title to Wardlow this past weekend at the Revolution pay-per-view. So every single time the camera was focused on Joe for his entrance, they had to cut out the TNT championship because obviously he's no longer TNT champion. So that was really interesting. Joe obviously picks up the win, retains his title, and he goes on the mic saying that this is his Ring of Honor now, and he challenges anyone in the back. And Mark Briscoe, out of all people, challenges Samoa Joe for the TV championship, says it's his destiny to win that title, and Joe said it would be a dream, and the match is on. So I'm assuming that this is going to happen at SuperCard of Honor. I'm intrigued to see who's going to win because obviously I think Mark Briscoe is going to be more geared towards Ring of Honor. And I had figured that Joe was also going to be geared towards Ring of Honor, but I guess they want to keep him in AEW. I don't really know. But it should be a fun match to say the least. Next, we have a promo from Dalton Castle and the boys, and they want their six-man titles back. Now, here is my issue with these six-man titles. If you look at AEW and the trios titles, at least there's multiple trios teams in AEW to fight for those trios titles. In Ring of Honor, if you just like look at the roster from what we know, there's not a lot of trios there. So I think they should get rid of the six-man titles. I just feel like there's no point in having them. I feel like Ring of Honor can maybe utilize of having like a second or technically third, because technically the second mid card title is the pure title, so maybe like a third mid card title than just having six-man titles. But nonetheless, Delta Cast and the boys want their titles back. They want a rematch with the Embassy, and that's also really interesting because Sean Ross reported earlier this week that Brian Cage had agreed to work through SuperCard of Honor, and he is in talks with WWE. So here's the thing: if they lose, Brian Cage most likely sign with WWE. If they retain, Brian Cage most likely staying with AEW. That's how I'm picturing this. So Dalton Castle and the boys versus Marcus Cross, Cody Khan, and I'm gonna butcher this name, and I'm Guillermo Rosas. This was fun. I mean, the other team had a lot of momentum and a lot of offense throughout this match, which I was really surprised by because I just thought this was going to be a squash. But I mean, how could you hate Dalton Castle and the boys? Like, if you are new to Ring of Honor, these three are so entertaining. I think it's impossible for Dalton Castle to put on a bad show, and just the boys are so talented. So this was fine. I mean, like I said, get rid of the six-man titles, but they're probably not going to do that. So we can only hope and pray. The Kingdom are up next, and they want a shot at those tag team golds. They say how they've held them before. They held gold in New Japan. They've held gold in Impact, and they feel like it's their time to reclaim their Ring of Honor tag team titles. And Maria has a really good line here where she says, every girl's favorite color is diamonds, or every girl's like favorite thing is diamonds, but my favorite thing is gold because gold cements a legacy, and we're trying to cement the legacy of the Kingdom. You may have known us as OGK, but you could just call us the Kingdom because remember, when they were in Impact, they had to be called the OGK because technically Ring of Honor had the rights to the Kingdom. So now they could. Someone's trying to call me. Oh well. Now they could use that. So hell yeah. This is really good promo by the Kingdom. Obviously, the Kingdom have been staples to Ring of Honor from the beginning. So interesting to see what they're going to do. And speaking of tag teams, we got an interesting tag team match because it was Serpentico and Hell Angelico. My God, I cannot talk. They're back. They're being used. Hell yeah. And versus the family, as they emphasize this on commentary, Bruce and Jalistico. This match was fun. I mean, I like that they're finally using Serpentico and not just on Dark. So we win. Fun tag team match. Obviously gets the job done. Roosh looks really, really strong. And I'm interested to see really what the plan is with Roosh because obviously in AEW world, he's teaming with 10 and now teaming with Jalistico to go here. Are we gonna keep him in tag team? Actually, like remember, he's a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, so I think he's a little bit more than being in the tag team division. But yet again, Ring of Honor's kind of still starting out. So interesting to see what his plans are in the future. And we get our first women's match of the night, and I was so excited for this when I saw the pictures when they taped it because Billie Starkz, the 18-year-old prodigy, has made her Ring of Honor debut against none other than Trish Adora. And for those who have never seen a Billie Starkz match before this, Billie Starkz is so talented. And she did an interview where she had said that she is not signing anywhere until she graduates high school in June, but meaning that she has her own Titantron, she has her own theme song. I feel like Ring of Honor is where she's gonna end up. This match was really good. Trish and Billie are two excellent wrestlers. Trish Adora was also in the Ring of Honor Women's Championship tournament in the summer of 2021. I didn't realize that Trish Adora is like kind of a heel now. Like she was like really emphasizing this whole heel thing that she's got going on. She gets the win too. I mean, not real. I had expected Billie to win, but I guess they're just trying to build Billie up until she does officially sign, so I wasn't that surprised. But this was really fun. I mean, the fact that we even got a women's main event and it continues to show that Ring of Honor is most likely gonna have two women's matches an episode when they didn't even have a division like 2 years ago. This is crazy. Crazy times in Ring of Honor. Christopher Daniels then talks about him winning gold in Ring of Honor. He wants to get back his tag team championships. He says in a perfect world, he wishes he could call Frankie Kazarian and make SCU happen. Obviously, Frankie left Ring of AEW to go to Impact, but he found someone else in the back that is willing to be his tag team partner. That is none other than his former tag team partner that he also won the Ring of Honor tag titles with, Matt Sydal. And Seidel talks about how he will do anything to make sure that the two of them reclaim their tag team titles. So if you didn't see on Rampage, they announced that there's going to be a ladder match called Reach for the Sky. And that's going to be how they crown the new Ring of Honor tag team titles. So I guess they're trying to get as many teams as they can in this. They announced the Lucha Bros are in it. I assume the Kingdom are going to be in it. I assume Daniels and Seidel are going to be in it. And I assume it's going to be like 5 or 6 different teams that are going to be in this match. It's a great way to pay tribute because one of the key matches that Ring of Honor is really known for is Ladder Wars, which is what they called a lot of their ladder matches in the past. And the Briscoes have been a part of some amazing ladder war matches. So what a better tribute than doing a ladder match, and especially like naming it after the famous Briscoes key slogan, Reach for the Sky. So that should be really fun. I'm excited. I thought they were gonna do some type of tournament because that's what I wrote about. And you know what? I could, a ladder match makes more sense. This is why, Tony Khan, you were in charge and I am not. And we're on to more tag team action. This is just tag team after tag team match all episode. We have Ari Daivari and Slim J versus Jake Christ and Man Scout. This this wasn't anything fancy. Ari Daivari and Slim J obviously get the win, and Ari goes on about how he defeated Metalik last week clean. Obviously, that didn't happen. He cheated, and Metalik comes out and starts beating him up. And then Ari and Slim J like 2-on-1 action. Then Blake Christian makes a save. So the team of Blake Christian and Metalik could be really interesting because they have a lot of similar styles because they're both like fast pace, high flyer. So if that's a team that we're gonna enter into this ladder match, hell yeah, amazing decisions. Next, our second championship on the line. We have Timothy Thatcher and Wheeler Yuta. And if you just needed like a definition of what pure rules meant, this match was it. This encapsulated it perfectly. I do find it really, really funny that every time, because I have the judges in case it goes to like the 20-minute draw, that it's always BJ Whitmer. BJ Whitmer is always a judge. Well, you know what? I don't blame him. He was great in Ring of Honor, but it's just like it's always BJ. When in doubt, BJ Whitmer as a judge for Pure Rules. Like I said, this match was really good. Like they really emphasized the fact of like how important the rope breaks are and all the other things that make Pure Rules different than a regular wrestling match. And they are really following this whole thing with the BCC turning heel because Yuta cheated to win. So one of the key things in Pure Rules is you can't do closed fist. So earlier in the match, he did one, and the ref, gave him a warning. And they were outside the ring, and the ref, his back was turned, and he did one, and he didn't see it. And then this led Yuta to give a submission to Thatcher, and then Thatcher tapped out. So this was really, really interesting. But you know what? I'm all for heel Yuta. This continues because he cuts a promo after saying that he's going after everyone from the LA dojo and he wants someone to come out and challenge him. And none other than Clark Connors, who just put on an amazing match at Battle of the Valley against Zack Sabre Jr. Clark Connors says that he will do anything to go up to Yuta and get the pure title, and he challenged him to a match. Yuta at first didn't give an answer, and then he's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. So I'm assuming that's gonna happen next week. I know they taped it, but I don't know if it's next week or the following week. But this is fine. I like that we're really interjecting like the LA Dojo New Japan into this. This is something that Tony Khan really emphasized in the final battle press conference was that New Japan was somehow going to be involved, and it seems like every week we have someone from New Japan, whether it be the LA side and it's New Japan Strong or it's regular New Japan. We have someone involved, which is super cool. Wrestling companies can get along, guys. Another tag team match because we can't get enough tag team wrestling. Brett Tice, Tracy Williams versus Aussie Open. So the interesting thing about Aussie Open is they've been taking a lot of bookings from AEW. They were on Dynamite, they were on Rampage, they were at the Ring of Honor taping. So I'm assuming they're signed in some sort of way. Like there's no way that they're not signed. Because, like I said, I believe they've been on some sort of AEW programming for the last like 3 weeks. So don't be surprised if they're signed. I don't know if they are. I'm not confirming that, but I'm just saying. A little weird if you ask me. This was fine. I mean, Tracy and Red are former Ring of Honor Tag Team champions as well. Aussie Open had an amazing showing, and this was a great back and forth between four amazing wrestlers. So, and Aussie Open obviously gets to win. So I guess it's just building upon all these tag teams that are going to enter this ladder match. I think it'd be actually interesting if like a team like Aussie Open or another team from New Japan win this, because it's like we're really emphasizing this partnership. And I love that. We should be emphasizing these partnerships. So don't count Aussie Open out for winning that ladder match at SuperCard of Honor. Next, we have Eddie Kingston versus Ben Dijo, which everyone was making fun of his name. This was a squash. Kingston is just trying to build up momentum for his match with Claudio. His match ends. He calls out Claudio, challenges him for the Ring of Honor Championship, and Claudio, wow, what a line! And he says that no man without honor will be holding the Ring of Honor Championship. And he leaves. Kingston tries to confront him and talk about it, but Claudio's like, "Did I stutter? No, I meant what I said." And he walks out. This match, no matter what happens to Supercard of Honor, is going to be absolutely amazing. And not gonna lie, I think it makes more sense for Eddie to win because I think they want Claudio up with AEW. I don't think they want Claudio hanging around Ring of Honor. So don't be shocked if Eddie is the one that wins. But what a way to build. I mean, we're building with 3 weeks left, and Ring of Honor is killing it. And in our main event, we have a women's match. Now, I have not been able to confirm this, and I texted a couple people that would know, but I am 98% sure. I'm probably going to get a firm confirmation tomorrow when I see Maria. But I am 98% sure that this was the first time a women's match has ever main evented Ring of Honor programming, which is huge. Because like I said, 2 years ago, they didn't even have a women's division, and now not only are we getting two women's matches an episode, but we're getting a main event. So if this gives you hope that maybe AEW is going to have more than one women's match on their programming, this should give you hope for that. This match was great. Athena's heel turn is probably one of the best things that has happened for her. This is really everything I think Athena wanted to do in NXT and especially on the main roster, but they didn't let her. And Willow's just great. When Willow wins that title, you're going to hear an eruption like no other because so many fans love her and she absolutely deserves it. I mean, remember, for weeks after Willow debuted on AEW for the first time, when is Willow getting signed? When is Willow getting signed? When is Willow getting signed? For weeks, months even, people were anticipating Willow getting signed. And now not only is she signed, she's also doing double duty because I'm 95% sure she's going to be involved in some sort of way in that Blood and Guts match. But she's just killing it. Now, the interesting thing is, before the TV had started, it seemed as if they were building up Athena versus Yuka Sakazaki for SuperCard of Honor, but Yuka was not at any of the tapings. So I don't know if we're doing that. And since Athena beat down Willow at the end of this match after the match was over, I also don't know if we're getting this rematch, but maybe with like a no holds barred, no DQ stipulation. So that's the other interesting thing is like, where is this leading? I'm going to assume that that's where this is leading and maybe Willow wins at the pay-per-view, but then I feel like that's way too quick and like Athena's only held the title for 3 months and I had expected Athena to get a longer reign. So I don't know. Maybe somebody else comes? I don't know. But I guess we'll see because like I said, we are 21 days away from SuperCard of Honor and in 20 days I'll be in LA. How crazy is that? And overall, I just thought the episode was really good. I think these Ring of Honor TV shows, someone actually tweeted this and I agreed with them, that everyone just looks like so much more relaxed. Like they love it. And they're not stressed, they're not pressing for time. And this episode was actually a lot shorter than the one last week because this episode ended at 8:51, where last week ended at 9:05. So I'm assuming it's just going to be like around 2 hours every episode, but it immediately flies by. All the matches were good, nothing felt stale. And this is really just giving the 2015 era of NXT that we all loved. So if they keep this momentum, I can't see why Ring of Honor can't somehow down the line get a TV deal and get the recognition that Ring of Honor deserves. But yeah, but thank you all for watching. I appreciate all the support we got in the first episode. Really, really good like support and feedback. So if you want to hear more or see more of the stuff I do, especially because March Madness of the convention scene is happening and I'm going to be traveling like crazy for the month of March, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_Sokol or on Instagram at Kimmy.Sokol. Or if you want to just follow my wrestling Instagram where I just put every single thing I do, it's Kimmy Talks Wrestling. And I'll see you guys next week for another episode of All Things Honor.